What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to more Sea Power action. All right, so this game has been on my mind. I posted a video today. Ooh, this thing is not on me. It's on something else. Well, the ceiling. So welcome back for more Sea Power goodness. Um, the game has been on my mind. I posted a video earlier today on it about just my first impressions of the game, which are just, you know, I mean, if you see the title, it says "Wow" in it. Goes to show you this game is something. Triassic Games, man. You guys outdid yourselves. Um, Hopefully, you guys doing good. This is my first stream since the election, so I'm not gonna get too political in this. In fact, I'm gonna try to keep it out. It's just you know, I don't know who you voted for. If you guys want to post in the chat who you voted for, you know, and why you voted, we can kind of cover that. I'm a big military person, right? So I have huge respect, right, for officers enlisted that serve in the U.S. military, right? Like in the Marine Corps, right? Uh, this goes dates back like decades, but I don't know if you guys know, but General Mattis, right? Some people call him Mad Dog Mattis, but he doesn't like. I don't think he likes being called that. He is kind of a legend in the Marine Corps community. Um, he did something that I think no other commander was able to do, which is he deployed a battalion of his Marines to a part of Iraq that had just constant, you know, fighting, constant, just like casualties, constant. And when he deployed with his Marines there, his battalion, he showed up. I think he was lieutenant colonel at the time. He says, goes to like the village elders, and he said, "I come in peace, but if you f with me, I'll kill you all." And I believe that's the quote that he said. And during his entire deployment, not one Marine was lost. And that was just something remarkable. And he became a legend in the Marine Corps community. And when he became like Secretary of Defense during the President Trump's administration, I was like, yeah, Mad Dog. I'm not gonna say Mad Dog, he doesn't like that, but General Mattis, right, Secretary of Defense. Um, and I'm not gonna say how I feel about either President Biden or President Trump, but I will say I get extremely offended, and we all know, if you guys are not familiar, uh, General Mattis was fired by the not the current president, but the previous president, President Trump, and said certain things about General Mattis and other military generals, like Admiral McRaven, which is the admiral who was in charge of capturing Bin Laden, things like that, that really kind of, you know, yeah, it really pisses me off. But anyway, that's just my take. I'm not gonna go dive into the whole politics and the future of our country and everything. I'm not going to say we're not going to make this stream about that. We're going to make this stream about sea power. But I just wanted to kind of put in my 2 cents because I'm a big proponent of the military. I love the military. And we take for granted, that that a lot of our troops, right, sailors, airmen, Coast Guard, are on active duty right now, right, deployed throughout the world, safeguarding our country. And as being somebody that just did a little bit of service, right, there is no days off in the military, right? Like when we got activated for active duty missions, right? There was no days off. It was like, hey, it's Saturday, we get a day off. No, there's no such thing, right? You're on duty until you're off duty, and if you're off duty, better use that time wisely. Get sleep, wash your clothes, because you don't know when's the next time you're gonna be able to do stuff like that. So I have high respect, and a lot of the things that we don't see in the news, like CNN, NBC, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, the newspapers, all that, is the stuff that is classified, which probably won't be declassified for another 100 years, about the stuff that the military is doing right now to make sure that we're all safe. So I have high respect for military. So when anybody offends the military or says anything offensive to people that have a combat patch, Marines don't wear combat patches, but Army wears combat patches. In the Marines, if you served in combat, you served in combat. Anybody that has anything negative to say, I get really upset. But anyway, moving on. Um, I do notice there was like a 900 megabyte update since the last time I played, which was the other day. And I do notice there's a bunch of new scenarios here. I think there was only one. Now there's this other here. And then there's this Warsaw Pact here. So I think they just literally tripled the amount of scenarios since I got my hand on this game. How? I mean, wow. Okay, all right. So I'm just wow. All right. Anyway, I don't even know where to begin here. I really don't know. There's so much stuff. I do highly recommend playing Top Gun. Early access, play Top Gun. Because you want to be Maverick, right? You want to hold Goose's dog tags and be like, talk to me, Goose, talk to me, Goose, and then have them engage, you know? Tommy the Templar, hey yo, how you doing? Alright, let's see. A very large Russian naval fleet is advancing toward Hawaii, who presented a direct threat to U.S. territory in the Pacific as commander of the USS Carl Vincent Carrier Battle Group. Oh, I like that. Your orders are clear. Locate and neutralize the Russian threat before it reaches American waters. Intelligence indicates the Russians' force is heavily armed with advanced missiles and anti-air system, creating a high dangerous engagement zone. Use the Carl Vincent Air Wing to locate, confirm Russian formation positions with Aegis-equipped cruisers. Establish a robot. Oh, I love this. Once the Russian fleet has been found, you are cleared to engage with full force to eliminate the threat. Execute the mission with precision, as any mistake can escalate into a broader conflict. Defend the Pacific. Ensure no hostile approaches U.S. shores and demonstrate U.S. resolve in protecting American interests in the region. I am playing that. Tommy, how did I get early access to the game? I know while I've been doing this channel for so many years, I've gotten some contacts in some of these companies. So I asked for a Steam key, in essence. Um, so that's how it is. I think you have to. I mean, I don't have a large audience. I have 3,000. By the way, like, subscribe to the channel. If you can, I'd appreciate it. You know, uh, I'm not going to be one of those people that says, hey, if you can donate to the channel, I'm not going to do that, right? If you want to donate money, go to a U.S. veteran group online, right? Or go to the American Battlefield Trust, right? Donate to that. Veterans first, American Battlefield Trust second, right? If you want to donate your money, go there, right? Like, I don't make as much, I don't, money wise, like, I'm not going to get into that, but, veterans need our money, right? We need to get veterans off the streets. We need to make sure that every veteran who served, whether they're National Guard, Reserve, active duty, whatever, off the streets, right? Like I had an idea, you know, I do I kind of run a site called it's a military news site, um, but one idea that I had that I was going to propose or talk to when I was going to go to DC was to, do like a program, where we can get veterans housing, you know, and, veterans that can't afford housing, put them on base, right? Put them in barracks, right, until they can get them on their feet. I think the number one thing is to get veterans, you know, shelter and food. They deserve it. They serve this country for whatever amount of time they served. Signing that dot at MEPS, right? And then going to basic training, and then going on active duty, doing missions, protecting this nation is something that you know we should always appreciate. Um, all right, so this is really cool. All right, so looking at this game, all right, I got a sub here, I think, right? Yeah, there's a nice sub. I'm gonna zoom in here. Ooh, I love it. Ooh, look. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna look at the graphics. Let's go to options. UI scaling is one. My quality is very high. VSync is off. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna leave it off maybe because I am running a stream, so I don't know if that's gonna affect. But look at this. I'm running an AMD 6600 graphics card. It's a mid-range graphics card. I think it's around right now. You can get it for around $200-$300, like 230, something like that. I can get high. Can I go extreme? Yeah, you can go to ultra. So if you wanna max out the graphics on this, probably get like a $400 graphics card. And I think I might just so this way I can go there. This is a game that's worth it. All right, so I got a sub here doing some. Oh, I already have it on, and then I have a P3. So wow, look, guys, like some of this stuff can be wallpaper. Am I right? Doc Savage says free advertising. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I how do I say? Oh, I'm gonna move this here because you guys can't see it. Um, I will say that there are certain games that I will like get a Steam code for, right? And either I'll be brutally on, I'll do a stream and I'll be honest, or the game is just like I if I get a code for it and I look at some of the screenshots of it and I look at the description of it, I'm like I'm not even gonna do a video on it. And then there'll be other reasons why I won't do a video, even if I got a Steam code and I added it some like even if I got a Steam code whatever. Um, it could be a bunch of things. I don't have the time. I'm doing the military stuff on the side. I'm trying to get into the Coast Guard Auxiliary. So I'm trying to do that. I'm 41 years old now, so I can't go active duty, right? I can't go active duty. I can't go reserve. But Coast Guard Auxiliary, you could do a lot of really cool things. And I normally would join the State Defense Force. If you guys are familiar with State Defense Forces, this is the site that I run, right? And if you guys are not familiar with State Defense Forces, they're basically National Guard Reserve. This is kind of like a good thing that we developed. So you have active duty Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, Space Force, right? And then U.S. Military Reserve, you have the Army National Guard, you have the U.S. Army Reserve, U.S. Navy Reserve, U.S. Marine Reserve, U.S. Air Force Reserve, you have a Space Force, I think, Reserve now. And then you have civilian reserve forces. So they have the auxiliary to the Coast Guard. You have Civil Air Patrol, which is kind of the civilian part of the Air Force that helps the Air Force out. But the Marines, Navy, and Army don't have an auxiliary. What they do is they do have the State Defense Forces, also known as State Guards. They work side by side with the Army National Guard doing stateside missions. And then you have Naval Militia, which is basically it's basically the state version of the Navy and Marines. They do like harbor patrol and stuff like that. So it's usually U.S. Navy Reserve personnel, U.S. Marine Corps Reserve personnel. But anyway, if you guys are looking to do some service, if you do join the State Defense Forces, you do have to go through like a basic training kind of thing. Um, each state defense force is different, so some are a couple of months on weekends, others are like a week or two or something like that. Um, but the reason I'm not joining the how you call it, there's a defense force in Virginia, but I want to go on a I want to go to the Coast Guard Auxiliary and try them out. I've never tried them out before, and I heard they do deployments. So in a Coast Guard Auxiliary, you can go on a cutter now, and you can. I don't think you get paid for it, but you can go on deployments to like the Pacific or parts of the Atlantic, and help with shipboard operations, which is really cool. Like anything I can do to support the military would be great. And my wife is probably not going to like that, but all right, let's. So I got a P3. So she's going to be doing recon for me, and they're heading here. And okay, so we're what? This is Hawaii. I think Midway's right there, right? That's probably Midway. I'm guessing. And we have the Carl Vincent battle group. I love. So we got one carrier, two cruisers, one destroyer, DDG. I forgot what DDG stands for. And two frigates. Oh, there's a battleship here. A BB is a battleship. Wow. Okay. Very cool. But guys, this is on high graphics. High graphics. Look at this. Now, I'm not gonna put it on ultra because I'm probably gonna lose the frame rates. Right now, I'm at 54 frames per second. It'll probably drop to like one. But I mean, look at it. The flags are waving. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. And so we have this is a sub. We have one P3 here. We have another P3 here. Another P3, and they're doing maritime patrol. So I'm gonna have her kind of go here, just so I can get a larger kind of envelope. I mean, look at that. Some of that stuff is just that's wallpaper right there. My gosh, this is gorgeous. You could see the rust. You can see the dirt on the plane. Like they did meticulous detail. You can see the pilots in the cockpit. They went the full nine on this. I know I said it in my last video, but I just I get amazed when the developers go into that intricate detail. Like it's absolutely insanity. Like I play AAA games from like EA, right? Like NBA, 2K, um, and you could see like certain players they'll add like incredible detail, but for like the majority of players or at least half of them, you look at it you're like, did they take this model from like I don't know the PS1 or PS2 days? Like, I mean, it looks so like we step back 10, 20 years, but everything in this game, like you know, is just gorgeous. The seas, and mind you, this is an indie developer with not even a fraction of the budget of a AAA developer. I just, to me, it just, I don't know, it really kind of just makes me, oh, here's the Wisconsin. Ooh, baby. Oh, look at those guns, guys. During what's up, buddy? You have two iPads. Use the two iPads. Um, okay, I'll charge it. Just leave it here. Um, but during the Iraq War, they brought a few battleships out of mothballs, and the sight of the battleships like made the Iraqi army and the Iraqi military just like sweat. And when they let loose these, I don't know what kind of guns they got here. And the cool thing about this game is you get unit reference, and you can actually, well, I wish it would just allow me to kind of like go automatically to the unit instead of me having to find it here. But I don't know what kind of guns those are, but those are pretty big guns. um, but basically, they shook the ground when the shells landed, and it destroyed the entire Iraqi coastal fortifications and defenses. Doc Savage says, "I've seen some videos with the instruments lit up inside the cockpits, tiny, tiny details, but they just made wow." So those videos you probably saw are people that probably have that freaking AMD, high end 7800 graphics card, which I have to get because of this game. Um, which now makes me want to get it more. He says, "Chef's kiss." I like that. Oh snap! Two Tychos now. It's a party. Yeah. Okay. All right, buddy. All right. Here, ask mommy to get you a spoon. Go ask mommy to get you a spoon. Okay, so let's look at some of our intel. This is 1991, June. Now, if I were the Russians, I would be coming out of Vladivostok, right? And coming up through here, probably somewhere around here. So that's why I'm having this P3 kind of go this way. And I'll head up here. And I love that I can. Here, there you go. Alright, so should I go on active sonar? I forgot what Toad sonar does. If you guys remember what Toad sonar does, let me know. I forgot what Toad sonar does. I gotta watch Crimson Tide again. I think that BB class has 16-inch guns. Ooh yeah. In Norfolk over here we have the. Is it the Wisconsin? I think it is the Wisconsin. Now that I think about it, she's docked here. She's a museum. I just haven't gone to see her yet. I was on the outside of the ship. I was viewing it. They were closed that day. Beautiful ship. I gotta admit. Surface search radar. All right. Man, that's gorgeous, man. You can see my frame rate dropped to like 20. Doc Cyber says it is the Winnie. I saw her once when I lived across the Bay Bridge Tunnel on the Eastern Shore. Oh, okay. Yeah, everybody goes to the Eastern Shore nowadays. I do not. Everybody, by the way, in this, like, every time I go to like New York, whatever, and like my family's like, where do you live? And at the time I was living in Virginia Beach. I just moved to Norfolk. They're like, oh wow. They're like, you live in Virginia Beach? That's great. I was like, no. Why? Why is it great? And they were like, Virginia Beach is beautiful. I'm like, no, no, it's not. And they're like, yeah, it is. I'm like, no, no, it's not. I'm like, first thing, the beaches are overcrowded. Two, there's a place called Mount Trashmore, in the middle of Virginia Beach. Guess so. Take a wild guess why they call it Mount Trashmore. And I remember my second date with my wife. We went to Mount Trashmore, and I remember talking to her. I'm like, I'm gonna take a wild guess. Is this a garbage dump with like they made it into like a park, right? Put grass on the garbage dump. They were like, it was a garbage dump. I'm like, well, did they take all the garbage out? And they're like, no, they just put grass and like a few trees around it. I'm like, so it's a garbage dump with just grass on it. They're like, it's not a garbage dump. I'm like, is there garbage underneath the grass? Yeah, it's a garbage dump, right? So they have this tendency to build parks around here with garbage on top, with garbage, and they pave it with. I mean, it just I I was talking to my friend Yanni, who's from Greece, and in Greece they're very meticulous about keeping everything clean, right? You go to Greece, right? You go to the sea, and you can literally see your hand under the water, and everything's beautiful there, and um, he gets amazed by how we a little bit more liberal, I guess, in regards to how we treat our spots. Um, and I have to kind of agree with him because it's like I was having this discussion with him, and I was just like, the weird thing is, I was telling him, I said, like garbage dumps aren't like you cover it up and oh, it's gone, right? It doesn't happen. Um, is this ship moving? It's at 3 knots. I'm gonna start. Yeah, I need them to start moving. Like, I don't want them to be stationary. I'm gonna project that they're gonna be coming out of there. Um. Anyway, it leaks, right? I mean, it just doesn't all stay put, right? The amount of stuff we put in the garbage dumps, batteries and electronics from the 80s, 90s, chemicals that you can only don't want to even look at, but just really bad stuff. See, finds a way to kind of get out. So like, when people are like, "Let's take the kids there," I'm like, "No, no." It finds ways to get into out of the garbage dump. But and then I never really went into the water in Virginia Beach. I don't know why. I think I maybe like went up maybe to my like knees and just never had a like. It was a part of me is saying just don't. Yeah, I don't know. I had like a bad feeling about it, and I was on base one time, and I was talking to a sailor aboard, not the Nimitz, but this is a beautiful carrier. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, I love flat tops. But she was telling me she was part of the waste control system. She was like, I would never ever swim in Virginia Beach. I'm like, why? She says, you do realize when we go to dock in Norfolk, we dump our waste before we come in. I'm like, yeah, you probably dump it in Atlantic Ocean. She's like, no, we dump it few miles from shore. And she's like, we have a crew of like 5,000. I was like, so when you say waste, she was like, waste. I'm like, oh. She was like, go to Eastern Shore, where Doc, you're saying you were. Go there because that's your best bets to actually have clean water. Doc says there was also this really cool private air museum near Norfolk. I think I've been to that one. Wish I could remember the name. Yeah, I've been to it one time, I think, when I first got here. He also Doc says I had the same idea when I visited VA Beach, but at the same time I lived on the Eastern Shore, which was the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I visited the Eastern Shore I think a few times. I love it. It is beautiful there. Um, it is in the middle of nowhere. However, they are building like more restaurants and more like chains and stuff in that area. Um, but yeah, we did like me and my wife went there a few times on trips, and we really enjoyed ourselves. Um, but me personally, I like going to like historical battlefields, and I guess this is where I have like a big problem with. This is where like I guess I want to choose my words carefully. I am not against opening up chains, right? Like McDonald's or businesses like CVS or anything. I'm not against that. Don't do it near a historical battlefield. Don't do it near Gettysburg. Don't do it near Manassas. If I'm at Manassas, I shouldn't see a CVS at the bottom of the hill, right? No, sorry. Like, go a mile or two that way. Like, and it really irked me one time when I was at the Wilderness, Spotsylvania. Excuse me, not Wilderness, Spotsylvania, and I was going through the Spotsylvania battlefield, and I was literally at one of the parts I forgot of the battlefield. It was like one of the interior lines, and I got into my car, and I remember I drove like 50 yards or something like that. And as soon as like I literally turned, there was a Hardee's right there, and I was just like, really, like literally, you have the battlefield, go a couple of yards, Hardee's. Why? Why? Like, I don't know. It's just stuff like that bothers me a lot. That's sacred ground. Doc says I worked 2 years on. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce it. Chinchikika National Wildlife Refuge, and we had to drive nearly 50 miles to Maryland to the closest Walmart for shopping. Oh wow, I'm sure it's better now, but man, yeah, yeah. Now that I think about it, okay, I'm trying to kind of visualize where you were. Okay, I drive that path to go to New York City a lot, and you were right. There is one Walmart on the Eastern Shore. There's one Walmart on the Eastern Shore, and it is a drive. I remember it's a drive. But the one cool thing about the Eastern Shore, I will say, it is it's quaint, it's quiet. There's a lot of like local businesses, local restaurants. There's not too many like. I mean, you have like a McDonald's here and stuff like that, but I do like the smaller locations because I do feel with the smaller locations you do have like better quality food, right? Like if you had to choose between like a hole in the wall barbecue place where they cook the pork outside, right, in one of those sheds, right, or McDonald's burger that you could leave out for 3 years and doesn't get mold on it. Which would you rather have? Uh, I know for me that's an easy answer. Uh, the amount of preservatives too, jeez. It was chicken farms, cornfields, and mom and pop diners. Hole in the wall, local place for sure. Yeah, but like I said, I rather choose those hole in the wall places than corporations. I don't. I'm not. I'm not gonna say I'm anti corporation or anything like that, but I don't trust them. I do notice that like the bigger I do notice that like when you get to a bigger corporation, like they get very stingy with money, especially if they're a public corporation, right? Like a good example is, well, I'm not gonna, but I'll use Walmart as an example, right? I was watching a documentary where Walmart went to like South Carolina, and they went into this one town. They built a super Walmart, right? And the town's main street was trying to compete. They were trying to get prices as low as they can. They try to like say, "Hey, we've been here for like 50 years, 100 years. Please continue shopping with us." But all the residents were like, "Yeah, you're selling a hammer for $10. Walmart's selling it for two. Like, I love you guys, but I'm gonna go to Walmart, And so all the shops on Main Street shut down, and so Main Street became deserted in essence, and everybody went to the supercenter until Walmart recently, I think in the last few years, decided to shut that supercenter. Not that it was not making money, but it was not making as much money as they wanted it to be. So they shut that supercenter down and told pretty much all the local residents, well, if you do need to go to Walmart, there's another one 45 minutes to an hour north. And it's just like, so it'd be different if they were losing money, then I can say all right. But if you're making millions of dollars, but you're like, well, we want to be making tens of millions of dollars, it's like, come on, dude, seriously. I don't know. I found something here. I don't know what it is. It's a EM emission, so electromagnetic emission. The altitude is 0, so that means it's probably a ship. I'm gonna have one of these P3s, and I'm gonna have her go at flank speed. Now, the one thing I do think they need to put in this game is fuel, right? One of the viewers, I forgot who mentioned it, mentioned that the planes don't have the planes have unlimited fuel. I can keep these planes in the sky for as long as possible. It takes a lot of the immersion out of that, and I don't like that. So this radar thing here is 0 feet. So it's a surface ship. It's not a sub. I love that it says like 978. I don't know what. I'm assuming that's something watts, right? And nautical miles, and it's moving in this path. And I have this P3 moving at 396 knots. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be proactive, guys. I'm gonna contact the flight deck, the commander here, and we're gonna go into the flight deck here, and we got a lot of planes. Okay, beautiful. All right, so A6Es I think are ship sinkers. I'm trying to remember. I know some of you guys are better with like naval. I'm hoping spending some time in the Coast Guard Auxiliary, I'll get more used to like the differences between like the different fighters and bombers. Oh, check this out. They have the traps for the planes. Very cool. Uh, F-14As do have anti-ship missiles, I think. So let's do 4. Air-to-air intercept, air-to-air range. Okay, so no, they're air-to-air. Anti-ship. Loadout, anti-ship. Okay. And then we'll do 4 of these. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. And then we're going to call in 3. We'll do 4. We're going to issue launches. Look at this. Look at this. The bay doors are opening. There she comes out. Ooh, she's a beaut. She's a beaut. Wow, you could see inside the ship. That's sick. Okay. F for fighter, A for attack. Okay, thank you. Launch some Hummers from the carrier. Good at configuring out and radar those contacts. Okay. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. We got another EM contact. So at least there's 2 ships here. Ooh. I know I'm getting away from this game, but look at yeah, mother's uncle. Oh man. Oh. Oh, look at it. Oh, the attention to detail is killing me. I love that you can zoom in so close. The only thing, and I mean, it could be possibly in this game at ultra levels. I want one of those these crew members, right? You got the red shirts, the yellow shirts, right? To come out here and do the Top Gun thing, right? Where they're like doing the hand waves and you know go. I want that in the game. I know oh, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna wait till she's. There we go. Uh Now, one thing I do want to see. I'm hoping they add it down the road. Is I want to see like the because I know they go full max, right? Full throttle, right? So you'll see like the blue come out. I forgot the name of these things. I guess my excitement is just blocking my memory, but like, and oh man, this is so freaking sick. I can't. All right, they're all ships. I don't see anything. They're all at 0 feet, so that means they're all ships. And our carry group's a good distance away. They don't know where we are. I know where they are. Afterburner, thank you. Yeah, I want to see the afterburners. I want to see like the ship going here, and then just the afterburners just, I want to see that so bad, man. Look, the canopy even goes up, and then you have the. Oh my gosh, man! The attention to detail is sick. I really like in my head. I cannot understand how an I see the afterburners on F-14s. Okay, so I guess it was just those A6s, A7. I'm gonna see afterburner on her when she launches. I'm gonna keep an eye out. Yeah, you see the afterburner. Oh man, so they do have that in there. Oh man, giddy up, as Kramer says. All right, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I just I'm just I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore. And I know, like, to it's some of you guys, this is maybe like superfluous, but like when you when you buy AAA games, right? Like, there's certain games that wow me, right? If you guys ever played Red Dead Redemption, right? And that had 100, I think $200 million budget, right? You see that game, you can tell the quality in that game, right? The graphics, the capabilities of that game, it's just mind-boggling, right? And you kind of get that. Hey, buddy, what? More? You get that with those kind of games. Like, you can understand, and you're right to be wowed at those kind of games because like $200 million budget, right? But this is an indie game, right? This is an indie game. I don't know how many people are on it. I know they don't have a budget for $200 million. I know they don't have a budget for $100 million. Um, But what's amazing is like the amount of AAA games out there that have like six, seven, not even six, excuse me, not even six. We're talking like eight, nine figure budgets, right? Uh, that when the games come out are just like, really? This is it? This is the game that you came out with? There was a game released by PlayStation recently. It was just canceled. It was literally out for. Hold on, let me see what was the PlayStation game, and it had a massive budget. It was supposed to compete with all the other shooters out there. Um, uh, I forgot the name of the game. It's called Concord, right? And it had a massive budget. It was just ridiculous the budget that it had. Um, and the game lasted for 2 weeks because no one bought it. Right? It didn't wow anybody. It was just they spent boatloads of money on it. We're talking, I think, over 100 million, maybe $200 million, and it was basically like a clone of every other shooter out there, right? And you you see a game like that, and you're like, $200 million is sunk into this. What's different with this game versus every other game? And there's nothing, and nobody bought it, and literally it had only a few hundred players on that game, um, and it had like staff of like hundreds or something like that, or like a massive staff. And when you compare like a game like that to this, and it's just like, what are you guys doing? Where's the money going? So we got a helicopter coming in. We identified it. So they're probably using her for. And I got my F-14s going in to provide. And they even call it rage flight. All right. Can I right click? Yep, I can. All right, and I can give her orders. Change speed to max. I want to see what happens. Yeah, yeah, boy. And I can go even further. I can put an afterburner. Now, the thing about this is why there needs to be uh, fuel in this game, because I could technically put these guys on afterburners and just leave them. You know, look at this. Look at this, and they go into like the formation that you would normally have. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And I love that you could zoom in and you can see where every ship is. The Wadsworth's here. I have the Chandler up here, all protecting the call Vincent. Boomer flight. Giving you orders. What happens to her orders? I told her to go. We're gonna go to max speed. You know what? I forgot the name of this plane, but I don't know if you guys remember seeing the movie called Flight of the Intruder. This plane always reminds, yeah, A6 Intruder. I guess that's where they got it from. Doc says the developers of Sea Power seem really talented and chilled. They have a Discord people can join. They seem very active on Reddit talking to fans. They put everything on the line to make this game according to talk. I'm glad Microprose picked them to publish this. Yeah, and you can see you can see the love and care that they put into this. Like even look at this. Like, do you guys see that? Like, I don't know, lens flare kind of thing. Even it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you could take screenshots. That's one thing I would like to have as a feature request: screenshot mode, right? Because something like this, that's perfect screenshot. You got like a lens flare, got a little J.J. Abrams stuff going on. Doc Savage says union break time. Oh, you're at work. Now the question is, what kind of ordnance do you have? AGM 84s. Let's see what an AGM can do. All right, so I issued the order. I'm assuming it's one of these missiles on the side of the plane. And the cool thing I love about this camera, I mentioned this in a previous video, is you can right click, you can hit AGM 84 and you could do salvo and then click on it, or you could just click on the plane, go over here and then right click and it should fire. If you're in range. I'm probably not in range. No, I'm not in range. But my planes are getting there quick. Uh-oh. What are those? EM emissions. These things look like they're moving faster than Hilo. It must be a carrier. Well, if it's a Russian carrier, I don't have to worry about it, right? Because they suck. I mean, it's 1991. If you guys are not familiar, the Russians have one aircraft carrier, and it goes out with a tow because it breaks down all the time. Can you give me a speed? EM emissions. I don't know what 4W means, but these could be missiles. They're moving fast. I want you to head this way. Get out of the range. You go this way. You go this way. All right, we're gonna push out. What the heck is Rage Flight doing here? I told Rage Flight to go out. I guess maybe their range is within that box. All right, what we're gonna do. We know that those are enemy contacts. Go to flank speed. Keep quiet though. Head flank. And I don't think any of my ships have the capability right now. I mean, we don't have that kind of range, I don't think. Yeah, we're too far from them to actually do anything. But right now I have Boomer Flight and I have Rage Flight out. So these must be planes. Because it doesn't seem like. It seems like they're going this way, then going back. So I'm assuming they're doing like a cap. I'm assuming. It doesn't tell me their altitude either. It just tells me nautical miles. So I do know that this would be a ship. See, and this is why I need a graphics card because as more ships come on the battlefield, my frame rate we're at like 14 if I go up to 10. But even not even at 10, more ships entered the battlefield, more stuff is going on this mini map. I was at 50 frames per second, now I'm at 30. So that like you need more than a mid-range graphics card if you're doing these big battles. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're if you're going to be doing this. You should be doing this. Oh, it says zero drop fuel. Oh, I'm trying to see if there's actually like a. I know somebody mentioned that they don't have like a fuel tank so they could stay in the air forever, but I don't know. It's hard to believe that the developers would allow that. I have a feeling there's I don't know. Just out of range. Now, I'm not good with naval tactics. I just want to let you know that. I know they have to protect the carrier. I know that, honestly, what I would love to have is like you have the DD here. I have a battleship Wisconsin. I would want my formation to be a little different. I'm not familiar how to do all the formation stuff yet, but I would love like my cruisers and everything to be in front of my carrier to provide like a screen. You know what I'm saying? So as like the missiles come from the enemy and the fighters and bombers, the battleships and cruisers and destroyers just light up the sky with flak and everything. You know what I'm saying? So if I could, I would. All right, they still got a helo in the air. Ahead flank. Everybody ahead flank. Push. I don't think there's any weapons that I have that can traverse that long of a range. And generally, when from the way I'm picturing naval combat, is you overwhelm them, right? You're not going to lob one missile and another missile. Like even in like this could even apply to like Civil War, right? You want to have all the units attack all at once to put as much pressure as you can, right? So like the Russians are going to have a couple destroyers, they'll have their carrier in the back, right? I want to lob maybe like 80 missiles, right? With fighters and bombers throwing their own missiles into it. So that those destroyers that are protecting their carrier are going to get a few of those missiles, maybe a few fighters too, and bombers, but someone's going to make through, right? And if I lob one and then another one, they're usually just gonna say up, up, kind of thing. So it's 1700, almost 1800 hours Zulu. Got Boomer Flight out there for attack. I'm assuming that means he's the lead. The cool thing I like about it is like you could even see Colonel V Cole, right? And if you flip over here, does it change the name? Captain something. Like the amount of detail, and I said this, but it still is remarkable in my eyes. All right, let's see what else the Carl Vincent has flight deck wise. We got F-18 Hornets. We got AA EA-6B, which is I think I already have them up. E2. Let's do one of those. One thing I'm gonna do before we end this session tonight is I'm gonna have. I want to see the planes, you know, land and snag these arresting hooks. It reminds me of a video I just saw, and there's a green shirt here too, right? An F-18, I think, or is it F-14, was landing, and it snagged one of these wires, and the wire ripped, right? And the plane went over the deck. The pilot, because of his training, knew he was going over the deck. Pulled the emergency, and you know, his ejection seat went up, right? But this arresting wire, like, I mean, it's metal, like it's steel. It was loose, and because of the stress pulled on it, it flipped across the flight deck, and there was a green shirt standing right here, and this guy knew what was happening. He took every ounce of strength he had. He jumped in the air. As soon as he landed back down on the floor, he jumped again. And I don't know how he did it. There's video of it. He jumped in the air. You see the steel cable flying right into him. He drops down, jumps back up. The steel cable, another steel cable comes up right past, and it's just like, wow. Um, to me, something like that is just like, how? So they got two helos in the air, which begs me to think, why do they have helos in the air and not like planes? I'm trying to think if maybe they don't have a, what do you call it? Maybe they don't have carrier. Okay, we got a new EM contact. Let's see. I don't think our AGMs are going to be able to reach it now. We're still out of range. But whatever ship this is, I mean, obviously discovered our ASW. I'm going to get this Hawkeye. Okay, these are all surface contacts. We have visual on all of them. There ain't no carriers on any of them. These are all just these are all just surface ships. That's pretty pathetic. No offense, but it's pretty pathetic. The bulk of the Russian naval fleet. It's gonna take 18 minutes for them to get there. 18 minutes for them to get there. So let's speed it up a little bit. Let's go to 100. All right. Give me. I don't think she can actually. I don't think this weapon can actually take out a air to air. Get boomer flight. How close are you to the nearest Russian ship? I know that's Russian ship. We're gonna engage with. Yeah, we still don't have it. I know they probably have a sub in the region. But I do think they need to add like fuel to these planes because the immersion is it's taken away from the immersion. Like I know like I can keep these P3Cs out forever, and it just breaks a little of that immersion. Hello, Russian cosmonaut. Are you gonna try to follow my guys to the to where my carrier fleet is? So they got helicopters covering their. I got boomer flight coming in. Oh, I forgot. I could have her set altitude 20,000 feet. It should give them better range. Go to 20,000 feet. I'm gonna have to call Vincent. get ready with a couple more. So we're gonna do some E7Es. We'll fly out six of them, and then F-18s will fly out five. Since we identified hostiles, we're gonna launch, boys. We're gonna launch, and we're going to town, boys. General quarters, all hands. Exactly. Yeah, this is the Russian fleet, and it's not that impressive. It looks like it should belong in like a museum. They look old, rusted hulks. We're at 28,000 feet. I'm gonna have you guys go way high. This way we can like minimize. Oh, he's already high up there. All right, all right. I need you to go high. So we're gonna navigate change speed to max. Actually, I should do it to all of them. And then we're gonna go set altitude to 20,000 feet. You guys are gonna do the same. Change speed to max. Set altitude to 20,000. They have like these helicopters protecting their little nest egg here. You guys are supposed to be. You're at what? 2,000 feet. I told you guys got to be higher, man. Go to 20,000 feet. Let's go. Merge. Oh, okay. So you can merge it. That's pretty cool. All right. I want to get some action in tonight. All right. We're in range. Yeah, boy. Two, three, four. Away. RTB, well, no, I need you guys still in the air. So I fired everything I had. There's no missiles. And I love that about this game, right? You fire the missiles, they were on this plane, and as soon as you fire them, they're removed off the model. I love that. Oh, oh, she's right on the. I love that this. What's that red? What does that mean? That are you picking up radar contact? Are they firing missiles? Do me a favor, start heading out. You fired your payload. Eh, Get out of dodge. I wonder if this red means that there are missiles fired against her. And then there's a very large radar echo here. these missiles coming in. I heard launch. Oh, yeah, they hit me with a missile. Dang it. Can I you guys gonna bail? That'd be a really cool thing to have in a DLC, you know what I'm saying? Like to rescue the crew. Alright, I'm gonna pull you guys out. I don't wanna lose you guys. Alright, boomer attack squadron. But I mean that AGM, that P3, excuse me, fired a couple of missiles. You see four of them coming in hot, right? I love that you can click on things on the map and it'll actually flip to that missile or a ship. Let's see how they do. Let's see how Russian anti missile technology is in the 90s. If she gets stopped in AGM 84. Oh, they're already firing munitions. So I got one, two, three. Where's the? And there's four. Okay. I see them. That's the Russian fleet. They're throwing everything they have at it. I don't think a Russian anti-missile system is that effective, guys. Oh, crap. Okay, maybe it is a little bit. I still got two coming in hot. Come on, go faster, go faster. What's the speed? Ah! I got one left. She's going at 540 knots, coming in hot. She's coming in hot. I'm so close. Only crap. Okay. Dang it. All right. That's gonna be tough, guys. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. Boomer flight. Give me a sit rep. Yeah, not within range. I have to literally be like right on top of them. Laser designation. You can drop fuel tanks. I don't know what a CBU is, but apparently it says I'm in range. Let's try this out. There's no guarantee. She's slowing down. I issued the orders to release the CBM thing, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Performing high level ingress. Engaging surface contact 7023 with CBU 100. I have no idea what a CBU. If you guys know what a CBU 100 is, let me know. I would like to know. Now, I'm curious. I have Rage Flight here, has four fighters. I have Boomer Flight here. Oh, I could merge them. What if I hit Shift? No, it's not going to do it that way. Okay. You guys are at 2,000 feet. I keep telling it to go higher. Oh, it's a bomb. Okay, cluster bomb. Oh, okay. Thank you, Cobra. So I'm not very familiar with naval lingo. I should be, but I wanted to join the Navy when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, I wanted to join the Navy, and this is gonna sound a little, I don't know, but when I was when I was 17, 18, I knew I wanted to join the military. I knew I wanted to join the military since even before that, since I was like 8 or 7, and I wanted to join the Air Force. I thought planes were cool, and I didn't know which branch to choose when I was like 18, 19. This is like a year after 9/11. And I was like, should I join the Army? Should I join the Navy? Should I join the Air Force? Should I join the Coast Guard? And I was just going back and forth. I don't know. I don't know. So what I did is I was like, all right, how about this? And this is a really bad way to decide. I'm going to email all of them. Whoever emails me first, I'll go with them. And the Marines called me first because, they're the Marines, right? Um, so Marine Corps recruiter picked me up. I remember he took me to the recruiting station at Fulton in Brooklyn. And as I'm walking in the recruiting station, right next to it is a naval station, recruiting station. And I was just like looking at it, I was like, I want to join the Navy. And I'm nothing against the Marine Corps. I love the Marines. Um, but one part of me, I always wanted to serve on an aircraft carrier. The first image I saw of an aircraft carrier, one of the first few images, is of World War II, of the Essex class carriers in a battle group steaming toward Japan and their rough seas, and you see the Essex class carrier just swaying up and down, and to me it just looked like a fortress, and it was something majestic about it, and I wanted to serve aboard them, and I studied the Pacific theater of operations, the battles, and how important the Enterprise was, the Lexington, the Saratoga, and it just, I don't know. But my Marine Corps recruiter was just like, hey man, um, if you join the Marines, you get to still serve on, you get to be on the naval ships, right? Like you can be attached to a carrier or whatever. Technically, yes, but for most Marines, no. Unless you're like in a MU, a Marine Expeditionary Unit, you're not going to be on a ship, pretty much. And if you guys are not familiar with what a MU is, it's a Marine Expeditionary Unit. Um, they're basically considered America's 911 force. So like uh, wherever there's something going on, right? The first thing a president will ever ask, whenever something is going on in the world, first thing the president will always, every president will always ask, where's the nearest carrier group? And in that carrier group will be a Marine Expeditionary Unit where they can deploy Marines, infantry Marines, combat infantry Marines on the ground. And those are the people you don't want to be messing with. you you don't want to be messing with Marines. Ooh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Here are the A7Es. Where are my F-14s? That's Boomer Flight 1. Where are my F-14s? I got unnamed, that's the sub. Don't tell me they're all the way out here. Yeah, Rage Flight is over here. Why are they all the way back here? Are they out of like fuel? Is that like one of the things? All right, let- let's go to afterburners. Nice. Cobra says first use the AGM 84. Yeah, I threw out four of them from my P3, but their flak knocked it out. I have to get closer. That's the thing. I wonder what she can. That's the range. I can't go any further. That's okay. Unless, what else do you have? You have the MK48. What's the range on that? Let's see what this does. I'm firing this missile, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I'm hoping it's one of those long range missiles. Probably not. From the A6. Where's my A6? Where did I put my A6? I got the A7 flight. I got Boomer flight here. But I don't think I have the range yet for the A84s. See? Yeah, I think you have to be within this range margin here. I'm too far out. Stay at 20,000 feet. All right. The one thing I will say about these scenarios, they take a while to finish because you have two massive fleets slowly moving toward each other. It's not like Civil War where you know they move faster, and it's a big ocean. That's another thing. And I think when they add like refueling planes, that's gonna add so much immersion because right now I have my Boomer one flight with four planes just heading straight there. Like they don't have to refuel. I think I lost two P3s. Boomer flight is way ahead. Jeez, you could tell with all the ships and everything going on, my frame rate now is in the high 20s. So, yeah. Let's see if I'm going to fire it anyway. I know some of you guys are going to say it's going to waste the missiles, but we're going to fire it anyway. My F-14s are still not. They're circling the carrier group. I don't know why. Oh no, my P3 is here. Leaf formation. Alright. Rage Flight. I need you, dude, to head up. I need you to take out those helos, man. I keep asking you to go there. Come on, man. Stop following orders still. I told them to go three, change altitude 20,000 feet. She's saying RTB. I don't know. There's a few bugs I do notice. Okay, we got. Oh, okay. So there is a thing in this game. So do you see these fighters? I got Boomer heading back. They're yellow. So that basically means I think they're out of fuel. Okay. All right. So there is like a fuel kind of thing. But the F-14's at 36,000 feet. I was thinking about that, but they're not going even to 20,000 feet. So I don't think they're going to listen to me at 36,000 feet. Fire! It's amazing how, like, when you look at it, you're like, oh, everybody's here. But, like, the carrier fleets are, like, so far apart. Like, we've been playing for an hour and a half. We still haven't had the fleets meet. You could see my frame rate dropping to literally single digits. Yeah. You hear RTB? Yep, he's out of fuel. Okay. All right, so that adds immersion. I like that. I would like see it says return to base bingo fuel. Okay, I like that. That's cool. I like that. So they can't stay up in the air forever. Okay. I like that. That is really cool. Come on, I told you to go here. And I know you have a nuclear propulsion, so you can't tell me you're out of you know, fuel. Now, when they start adding like things like refueling planes, because I know carriers have them even in the 90s, right? I can actually put out these. I don't know if it's possible. It might be a feature right now. You could actually do that. I haven't figured that out yet. Send out these refueling planes to be at the halfway point, and then this way I can. This way I can. Yeah, most of my flights are pretty much out of fuel, or they're getting close to bingo. If you guys don't know what bingo means, is like once you hit fuel, that's enough fuel to get you back home. That's about it. We're too far away, man. Way too far away. This is where the carrier group is. My farthest planes are right here. The ultra farthest planes are here. She's climbing to about 30,000 feet. I'm gonna fire the AGMs, all of them, if I can get there in time before they hit bingo. I don't think she'll. It says altitude 0 feet. Ah! Yep, RTB. Yeah, I'm pretty much out. So I have. She's still going 8 knots. I don't know why. So there's still a few bugs, I think. Yeah, it's gonna take a while for my fleet to get within any kind of range, and they're still going at 26 knots. So the fleet's not like tiptoeing there. It's just it's taking a while. I'm glad that they have like times 30 speed. The higher they are, the more they save on gas. Yeah, I know, but the question becomes: is those AGMs 84? If they're at like 50,000 feet, what's the altitude that they have to be at to drop those anti-ship missiles? You okay, buddy? Airborne refueling is not yet implemented. It's something they want to add but not committed. Oh, they got to be 100% committed to it. Airborne refueling is a must. That is part of like that is part of naval warfare. That is a must. I like the way Havoc Squad says, unless you are in a port, a carrier's flight deck should never be idle if you got gas and ordnance available. Yeah, in real world, yeah. But I feel like we're so far away right now. Like the carrier group is so far away that I would have to somewhere be right around here. And I do notice like the units don't follow the orders 100% of the time. Like I'll tell them go here, and they won't go there. So there are bugs. I do notice that. Oh, hold on. I gotta see this. This is where You okay, buddy? All right. She's gonna do something like that. What's the? I want to see the planes land. All right. I want to see the. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now she's listening to me. So 1932. All right. She's gonna land at the Carl Vincent. Oh, she's getting ready. Landing gear is down. All right, here she comes. She's coming in hot. Ooh, baby, this is what I think about at night. You, you can see the flaps. Alex, here we go. I gotta watch this, guys. This is like every still image is wallpaper right here. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. Nice. Okay, cool. I like it. I like it. All right. So, um, where are these fighters? Yeah, merge them. What are you guys doing all the way in the back? All right, do me a favor. 53,000 feet. I'm hoping it climbs up there. I don't know what they're doing all the way in the back. I issued orders to them to go all the way toward the front because I want them to start knocking out those. What is this? Oh, those choppers. But you notice it doesn't set waypoints. So I don't know if. Hmm. Yeah, I figure they're RTB. I try to go to 50. See how it drops to 30 on the X? See, it's going down. I don't know why it's going down. I didn't give it that order. One thing that I wish it could do is like if you double click this, it would go to the actual plane. But it's not. You have to do the drop down. And she's. Yeah, they're not going in the. What time is it? I want to knock out those helos before I end the video here. They're using the helos like a fighter screen, which is weird. I don't know if that's actual Russian naval tactics. That flight deck is gonna be busy. All right, I see it moving. Rage 9 flight. So I got one F-18 doing a cap. Okay, maybe because it was on a CAP, that's why it was not actually listening to my orders. And this guy has been up there forever. This P3. I'm trying to get Rage 9 flight to come in. The Omaha is still far away. You can RTB. Alright. I'm still far away from any. The distance, man, is just crazy, man. And the Russians are not coming toward me. They're like static. So, yeah, there needs to be some improvements to AI. They're not aggressive. And these are all aims. So they're air to air. That's one thing I do know. Aims are air to air, and you have to be very close, as you can see. All right. Did she fire? It said salvo fire. Why is she going all the way to the deck and turning around? She must be RTB, I guess. Yeah, she's not taking my orders anymore. I don't know. I issued an attack order, and she decided to turn around. All right, I'm gonna contact the Carl Vincent. I'm gonna do a. We're gonna do a six pattern air to air long range. Call sign rage. We'll do six. All right. Now the cool thing about I love about carriers is you can have these F-14s coming out here and start take off while the flight deck is receiving. I love that about carriers. One cool thing that growing up in Brooklyn, I got the privilege of is if you guys are not familiar, there is the USS Intrepid, the World War II Essex class carrier, and she's based in New York, it's somewhere around 42nd Street. And I'll tell you, I'll never forget. As a, maybe I was 12, maybe 11. I forgot how old I was, but I got off at like 34th Street or 42nd Street, and I started walking toward the Hudson west. And I remember that was a nice shot as the F-14 flew by. Look at that! You can see the F-14. You can see the shadows. That's sick. Anyway, I remember going up somewhere around like 8th Avenue because it kind of climbs up. And as I got to the like top of the hill, I saw the Intrepid. She looks so beautiful. Like it was the most. I still remember it, and this has been like 30 years later. Um, there's something special about that moment. I remember was so powerful, and I remember going to the Intrepid, getting tickets, going inside, and the moment you get on in the Intrepid, you get that smell, right? And I don't know if it's the same smell that's aboard U.S. naval carriers now, but it's a smell of like history in a way. Um, and you go in the hangar bay, and then they have all the museums. They have fighters, and they talk about the history of the Intrepid. That a kamikaze went into the Intrepid, I believe, and crews worked valiantly to put out the blaze to save the ship. Um, and a long history of the Intrepid. Like after World War II, they converted her to an angled deck. And I remember there was one veteran who served on the Intrepid, and he was talking about like they had Nimitz class carriers or Forrestal class carriers, um, and the Intrepid crew pride themselves. They were able to actually launch more planes than the modern carriers. And I thought that was pretty cool. I remember him saying that 30 years ago. I still remember it today. How do you merge it again? Okay, there we go. All right, so you just click and drag to merge. Okay. All right, so I got Rage Flight. I'm gonna have them. Please listen to me. Ooh, look at that! Look how cool that is. They all like kind of. Oh, that's sick. I like that. All right, I'm gonna change altitude to 53,000 feet, and then we're gonna change speed to cruising speed. All right, I'm gonna give this one shot. Stay high. Look at that, guys. Tell me that is not a screenshot moment. Doc Savage says like a swarm of Tom Cruises. Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you the. Oh man, look how beautiful that is. Oh, that's gorgeous. But when I was at the Sea Air Intrepid Museum, that was the hangar deck, and I went to the flight deck, and they had all the planes from like they had the A6s, the A7s, ones that we're playing with right now. They had the F-14s, I think the F-18s, and and they had the SR-71. I got to stand in front of an SR-71, and I remember just standing there. I'm just like, wow, wow. Like I just stood there. I was just like, that's an SR-71, the fastest plane in the world, and it just blew my mind. To me, that was like the most amazing thing. I just geeked out on that. Um, and let's go to 53,000 feet. No, no, not don't do a cap. I think that's what's happening. The reason why they don't listen to my orders because they automatically are doing a cap, and they're at 50,000 feet. Doc Savage said, I live and grew up in between Mobile, Alabama, and New Orleans, so we have the USS Alabama and Air Park nearby as a kid. It was like Disney World for me. I get that feel. Yeah, it's something, isn't it? Um, I spent so many, I spent as much time as I could on that ship, and then when I was on the flight deck, I looked below me, and there was a submarine, the Growler, and it was a World War II. I think it was a World War II sub. So I was like, I'm going there. So I went online, and I went on board the sub, and it kind of reminded me almost like my apartment in Brooklyn, right? It's a railroad apartment, right? You have like the bedroom, another bedroom, living room, kitchen, and then bathroom. So if you're if you're in this bedroom, to get to the bathroom, you have to go through everybody else's bedroom. People down here find that amusing. To me, that was just normal. But anyway, um, so I remember with the Growler. I remember going in there and it had a different smell than the Intrepid, and I just found it really insane how small the quarters are, like how small the room was. Like even the captain's quarters was like this. like this little space right here, right? Enough that I could probably just lay down, maybe not all the way straight, I just thought that was sick. And then I went to the bridge and I'm like, oh, so this is the bridge. And I'm like, man, like I could almost touch both walls, it was just crazy. And then it was a missile, I think it was a missile sub too, because it had the front would go like this, and we would be able to fire one or two missiles. I thought that was sick, and I remember we went from the front of the sub to the back of the sub, and it was an incredible experience. I loved it. Doc Savage says, and the World War II Museum in New Orleans gets better and better as years go on. Impressive collection. Yeah, I wish we had something like that here. I mean, there is a museum in Washington D.C. I need to go there, but I feel like I don't like going to D.C. And I know some of you guys are like, why? One, it's 3 4 hours away. Two, parking is it's like parking in Midtown Manhattan, and like you know, I don't. I always feel like I'm being watched in DC, which you are, right? Um, and I don't know, like I always feel like I'm gonna make a stupid mistake. Like I'm gonna jaywalk or do something that I normally do in Brooklyn that is not okay in DC, like jaywalking or whatever. And some cop's gonna come up to me because, like, DC is, especially after what happened in a couple years back, is like everybody got binoculars on there, right? So I don't know. It's a stupid, I guess, thing to think about. But but yeah, I definitely need to go back. I just remember though that like parking was not easy. Um, there's a lot of people. A lot of things were. This is before what happened in a couple of years ago with January 6th. Um, Parking was tight. There was security everywhere. Like, it was there was heightened tensions, and that was before January 6th. So I can only imagine after January 6th how it is. Doc says, yeah, they have a Gato class in Mobile, and you can crawl over and in the thing. Oh wow, it's insane. We used to do Boy Scout campouts on the Alabama. You lucky dog, man. That thing is still smelled of diesel and heavy fuel. Nice. It's a good smell. That sounds like you saw one of the converters. Some of the ones they built a big garage on top and surface launch V1 looking flying bombs out of it. Yep, that's exactly I think what it was. The Smithsonian Air Museum is cool. DC is a beast. I got lost on the subway system. First time I ever went on one and I failed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm planning to go to DC soon. It's just I don't know. I feel like I love DC. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's congested. There's a lot of tourists, and I'll be one of them, right? It's expensive. I remember that. Parking was a nightmare. I remember some of the museums we went to were closed, shut down, for renovations. Um, it wasn't not a great experience. I was trying to go to Washington Monument, that was closed. There was security everywhere. You couldn't get there without you having to get. You couldn't go into the Congress without written approval from a senator. It was just a lot of security, and I understood. I'm not gonna say you know that they shouldn't have done that. They need to keep DC secure. That's where the government is. It's just I wish I was better prepared. Like I wish I got a letter from a senator or a congressman. It's like, hey, he could tour the Capitol and stuff like that. Or I knew that all the museums were. Um, there's only one fighter here, and the rest of the Rage flight is here. So he's at 53,000 feet, and so they are. Okay. I Before I end this stream, oh, you can go to 100 times now. Look at my frame rate. Okay. I see this bowl closing, so I don't know if that means that they're coming low on. Dang it! No, I can't. Doc Savage, he must be scouting. LOL, Hardagan. I do want to visit the White House. That's one thing that I don't think. I don't think that the next we'll be able to do that for the next while because of. Oh, 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 oh! There's a radio radar echo small. Something at 1,000 feet. All right, I'm gonna issue this as hostile. I don't know what it is. It's probably a missile. Box three. You heard what he said? Box three. Alright, I got box three going in. Reminds me of Independence Day. You guys remember? It was like, Mr. President. It's like, let me give me one more shot. Eagle one, box three. Oh, I love when they bring the military lingo into those movies, man. It's sick. Echo is small. I'm assuming 1,000 feet. I'm assuming it's a chopper. Get to the chopper! Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yep, I think it's no. Raider Echo small. It hit the water. That's a sub, and the plane's out of fuel. Dang it. Okay, so we definitely have a sub here. And where the heck is our sub? Where the heck is our sub? Oh man, she's all the way out here. Dang it! At a RTB, that's. He said, "Splash. I hope it isn't Pan Am." Splash. Is it Periscope? Oh well, those P3s have any torpedoes on board? I think only AGMs. Let me check. Nah, just AGMs. Those are anti-ship. I don't think they're anti-sub. Correct me if I'm wrong. We really need mid fueling because like I would keep a couple of fueling uh, planes here to refuel my fighters. Ah, she's RTB. Yeah, I mean I don't blame them. I think this. I wonder if this blue line means that how close it gets to RTB. I'm guessing. We'll see in a second. That blue line. I'm gonna see once it hits that square. Is it going to be RTB? Yep. Okay. So that blue line right here means RTB. Okay. So that makes sense. Okay. All right. So I'm on the Carl Vincent now. We'll get flight deck. All right. Air to air long range. There's nothing I can do with drop tanks, right? I'm assuming there. I don't see anything for drop tanks. F-18s. Let's do a flight of. We only have three. How about this? Let's do a flight of six. Call sign Nickel. Air to air long range. Oh, I like that it has these things here. All right, so if I do air to air long range, it has two drop tanks. Okay, so let's do that. And cool that you could abort launch too. I like that. Nickel flight ready. Got two fighters up in the air. What is this? Oh, those are mine. I was gonna say for a second. I was just like, are those enemy? See, the problem I think here is the AI is not aggressive, right? The AI is not coming toward me. I'm coming toward them. They're just standing around being like, okay, you know. So I'm gonna probably pause it here, guys, because I don't know what time is it. My Windows time tells me it's 5:20 a.m. I know it's not 5:20 a.m. It's 12:20 a.m. Okay. Um, so I'm probably gonna end it here. Because this is gonna take a while. Like we've been playing for 2 hours. I think I went from like maybe here to here, so we still got a long ways to go. And I got my fleet heading at flank speed. You know, like the task force is at Carl Vincent's at 8. Why are you guys at 8 knots? I gave the orders to go out here. Maybe that's why it's taking so long because they're going so bloody slow. Maybe they hit the wave point. I don't know. Head flank. I'm gonna break this guy off from the formation, the Omaha, because I think what's happening is the Omaha is getting to the waypoint and basically telling the rest of the carrier group to slow down. And she's at 85 feet. She's going slow. You could see her. Like, she looks like she's just standing still. Oh, you're scaring me there. Hold on. I think there's a saved game. I'm hoping there's a save game. All right, new file one. Hit save. Um, dude, no. Oh, you're joking me. Come on, man. No, you're playing. You're playing. I can't save the game. No. Oh crap. Okay, I can't save the game. Oh, that's gonna kill me. Dang. I mean, it's in early access. So I'm not gonna complain, but All right, I'm gonna max this to like 100x because I'm going 100x. coming soon, LOL. Doc Savage says, yeah, coming soon to a theater near you. You know what? Let's do this because it's getting late. It's like 12:30. I need to start. I don't know. I'm getting tired. My son's probably maybe keeping him up a little bit. I am going to have him head here, him head here. They both, I think, have about. Do they have missiles? Hold on. Yeah, they have at least 8 AGMs between both of them. I'm gonna have them go in tight, hard, and fire those AGMs. Do you have anything that can fire? No. He's on his way to take out that, but it'll be a while before he gets there. They're going at 30 knots, but it's gonna take a while to get there. I went back to 30. See, I do notice that it allows you sometimes to go to 100. I guess maybe if I deselect the unit, I don't know. It doesn't allow. Sometimes it allows you to go up to 100. Sometimes it doesn't. Now it's stuck at 10. So yeah, there are bugs. I mean, it's early access. All right, let's go in tight. Uh, Time compression set to max. We does the BBM have tomahawks that might be able to launch? Good question. I don't know the range of tomahawks. I know it's far. Where is it? BB. Okay. Let's see. Now the cool thing I like about this is you can right click, engage with noisemakers. I don't know if these are tomahawks. I doubt they are. So I don't think it's loaded with tomahawks. Let's see if it fires anything. Because it'll actually go through its thing and say, all right, is there anything I can fire at this range? I don't think it's going to be able to because something would be happening right now. It is a beautiful ship, though. Oh, man. She's a gorgeous beaut. Sad that the age of battleships is gone. Gone and. Oh, crap. Oh, no. Okay. I thought I lost both those PBMs, P3Cs. Alright, so I have to get within right around here. So it says 2254. The RGM 109B can do 600 miles. I got helicopters coming in from my P3Cs, but their altitude is, I mean, it says 0 feet. I doubt the helicopter's at 0 feet. Alright. Okay, I can fire. I am within almost range. Almost there. Okay. So what we're going to do here is this. We're going to do the following. I'm going to do this as a hostile. This radio echo is very large. It's most likely a ship. And I'm going to engage with 8 salvos all at that guy. Alright, please tell me you're within range. Oh, she's just out of range. All right. Are you close enough now? Please tell me. Ah, she's still out of range. All right. I want to see if she has range now. I'm hoping. I don't want to lose these. There we go. She has range. We're firing. All AGMs going. All right. So now that I got my boy, I need you to RTB. All right. So, yeah, that ship is about to have a bad, very bad day. I fired four before. They knocked them out. I'm hoping with these eight, one or two will get through. Missiles inbound. Man, I definitely need a more higher level graphics card. I was trying to figure out what new tech stuff I need to buy next, and I know graphics chip. The cool thing is they haven't locked on to me because I've noticed that if like you have this plane here and it has like red going this way, it means it has a there's a lock, a missile lock on it. I don't see anything on my boys. It's gonna pass this helo, and it's a very large ship, so we'll see how that. I don't know what this means. I mean, I'm assuming radar. I'm assuming. So I got four coming in here, four coming in there. Coming in tight. They're firing on them. Four AGMs going in hot. I don't know how much these missiles cost. Probably a good 80, 100,000 K each. Shoots! They splashed one of my P3s. This P3's shoot. She has a lock. There's a lock. Do me a favor. Do max speed. Go to altitude 28,000 feet, and I need you to do chaff. Chaff out. See if I could do more chaff. I think she's out. I think that's it. Yeah, she has 29 chaffs left. Dang, they knocked out two or three of them already. Yep, they knocked out the first four out. Dang it. Hug the ocean, maybe drop below the radar. Okay, sounds good idea. Alright, set altitude. Going down to 50 feet. Hit chaff. I don't think they have lock anymore. I don't see the red on there. I still got four coming in hot, but I should have had them lined up and fired at the same time. And that's the problem. They're going to start engaging again. And since they're in a really tight group, they can have all the guns just, you know. Yeah, they have some serious anti-missile. I'm hoping that they expended quite a bit already. Oh shoot. They got a lock on my boy. Fire chaff. How far is my fleet? She's still way out. Yeah, this still coming in hot. I got at least two AGMs. They knocked out one AGM. I think I'm down to one. It's at 19 feet. Still, I'm closing in. Ah, they sunk her. Dang, they got some good anti-missile freaking. Dang it, man. Nickel flight is out, but let's merge them. I don't think, honestly, that they're going to be able to do much. But we'll see. Nickel flight, do me a favor. Jeez, she's so far out, man. Change speed to max. Actually, go to cruising because you'll use up less. Set altitude at 53,000 feet. Yeah, I don't think she has enough fuel because you could see this circle, right? I'm betting she'll get somewhere right around here. It's the same problem that I had before. I'm just gonna fire chaff just to be a heck of it. The fleets are just so far apart, man, and it's so long to get. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna click on this and then see if the entire fleet has something that they can fire. Let's see if anybody has anything to fire. I doubt it, but yeah, it's gonna take a while for these planes to get there. I'm gonna go up to 100. 30 is the fastest. Yes, Doc says, wow, swatted them all out of the sky. Google states that Block 1 harpoon is 1.4 mils. So that's probably more accurate. It's pretty expensive. Yeah, this air is probably built on the idea of using air wing to engage at this long distance, or using those crazy shipwreck missiles the Russians once had. They locate your fleet. Those things are OP. The only problem is that the fleets begin at such a long distance apart. What is I got one fighter group heading there, and she's still at 2,000 feet. I keep telling them to go higher. Set altitude. Go to RTB already. All right, I'm gonna end it here, guys, because my guys are RTBing like crazy. I'm gonna try to save it again, but yeah, it's not gonna happen. All right. Well, either way, I had fun. I did. Okay. Well, they sunk two of my two ships, but um, the rest of my fleet's undamaged. This is a crushing defeat. Um, so this is the cool thing that about this game is that with this mission enter, you could take that mission and put the fleets closer together. Because we've been playing for 2 hours and 19 minutes, and the fleets are still not even in range. And I had them going at like flank speed. So, yeah, we need to fix that. Anyway, hopefully, you guys enjoy this. I'm going to do a little bit more, hopefully, tomorrow. And catch you guys in the next one. And good talking to you, Doc Savage. And catch you in the next one, guys.